Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline is off today. Indeed, a big story this morning. The U.S. has launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at a Syrian government airbase. President Trump says it's in response to the chemical weapons attack earlier this week that killed dozens of civilians in Syria. Live now to Washington, and reporter Lana Zock with details. Lana?
Good morning. Syria is comparing the U.S. actions to that of a terrorist organization. Russia is calling for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council, saying that this is an act of aggression against a fellow member state. And just moments ago, they also halted all military coordination with the United States.
From 2 American destroyers in the Mediterranean, the U.S. launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at Syria.
Tonight I ordered a targeted military strike on the airfield in Syria from where the chemical attack was launched.
The president at his Mar-a-Lago resort urged the international community to denounce Syrian President Bashar al-Assad for his suspected use of sarin gas against his own people.
Even beautiful babies were cruelly murdered in this very barbaric attack. No child of God should ever suffer such horror.
More than 80 were killed, mostly women and children, in brutal, horrific deaths. But Russia is decrying U.S.'s action. A spokesman for Russian President Vladimir Putin said he regards the strikes as aggression against a sovereign nation in violation of international law. U.S. lawmakers are responding as well. Many are praising the president's actions, but others say Congress should have been consulted. Republican Senator Rand Paul tweeted, "While we all condemn the atrocities in Syria, the United States was not attacked." And Democratic Senator Tim Kaine called the president's failure to consult Congress unlawful. For the new president, it's a reversal of his previous positions, but it's also a message to the international community.
The larger statement, again, is that Assad needs to stop the chemical attacks against his people.
And now the big question becomes, what happens next? This was largely seen as a surgical strike, something that was more symbolic than actually disabling to President Assad. But any further actions would require coordination with the international community, particularly Russia and China, as well as congressional approval. Reporting live from Washington, Lana Zock, ABC News. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Lana. Before we check other stories, let's get the forecast first for today and the weekend. A little quieter day today, John Scalzi.
Yes, indeed. Much quieter today. We have less potential for any kind of weather for about 7 days, actually. That front that came through yesterday and brought all the strong storms and heavy rainfall to places has now sunk much further to the south, and we're running around 10 degrees cooler in our air temperature and 20 degrees cooler in our dew points. What's that mean? It means a nice weekend in store for us. Perfect timing for those storms yesterday. We have 65 degrees in Sarasota, Venice, Inglewood, Longboat Key at 68, 59 degrees in Parrish, 58 in Wauchula, 58 in Arcadia. Positively cool for this time of year. A few high-level clouds may stream by, but that's it. And if that's it, that's pretty good. We'll look forward today. Plenty of sunshine around, daytime highs in the low 70s, low relative humidity. Only thing is high fire danger because of the low relative humidity, and also small craft advisories up for the morning hours. We'll have the complete forecast coming up in a minute, right?
All right, John, talk to you soon. A quick scan of local traffic at this hour. Not a lot to report. A little slowdown there up on 301 in the Palmetto area. Farther south now into Sarasota County. We'll check the roads there. Perhaps we might see a slowdown on Bee Ridge. Yeah, sure enough, ongoing construction project there, slowing things down. Also 41, some congestion there near Bee Ridge, and where Bee Ridge turns into Bay right there. And then farther south, we'll check the roads there. Nothing to report besides a little construction project ongoing in the lower right corner of your screen between War Mineral Springs and Tarpon Point. Back to the news now. North Orange Avenue in Newtown is back open after a shooting last night shut down the road. It happened at Carver Street, which is near 19th Street. Officers say someone was shot in the leg. Injuries are not life-threatening. The incident remains under investigation. A 6-hour standoff with Manatee County Sheriff deputies in Bradenton ends in the death of a suspect. 68-year-old Glenn Wattenpool was shot and killed after he held hostage the manager of Pescara Lake Mobile Home Park. Deputies say he was angry that he was being evicted and frustrated about rumors about him in the neighborhood. After hours of attempting to talk Wattenpool into coming out, the SWAT team went in. Wattenpool, they say, opened fire on them, and they shot back, killing him. Neighbors are shocked.
They knocked on our back bedroom window and told us that we had to grab what we need and get the heck out. When we were ready, then we opened our side door, and the SWAT team guy with the shield made us get behind him and cut through the backyards and out onto the street.
One man was taken to the hospital for a head injury after being hit over the head with a gun by Wattenpool. No deputies were injured during this incident yesterday in Manatee County. The Charlotte County Sheriff's Office investigating what they are calling a potential threat at a local school. The Sheriff's Office says there may be a threat of violence at the Academy School in Port Charlotte. Parents, teachers, and students can expect to see additional law enforcement at school today as additional personnel will be patrolling the area as a precaution. Very unsettling there. Firefighters spent 2 hours on 2 out-of-control brush fires yesterday in South Sarasota County. And as our Rick Adams tells us, one fire is contained, the other is just still burning.
Well, it was a very busy day and night for firefighters. They battled brush fires in 2 separate locations. One of the locations was in Venice, the other right here in Northport. Smoke and fire put a huge scare into the lives of some residents in Northport. At least 12 acres burned on both sides of a road at Deer Prairie Creek Preserve. Richard Miller's home on D. Miranda is very close to where this fire was happening. His home was one of at least 4 that had to evacuate.
There's just this wall of smoke coming out of our backyard. We're running to get animals out of there, and it was chaos.
Heavy winds added to the chaos, making it very challenging for firefighters to get this fire under control.
We got on it pretty rapidly. The structure departments were here. They played a key role in helping us protect the houses.
Barbie McShane shared this photo with us of one of the choppers that was helping put out the fire from up above. She lives right down the road from where this fire happened.
I'm worried about the people who live in this area. Thankfully, it's not super populated.
Fire officials believe lightning ignited this fire, as well as a fire in Venice that was going on around the same time. That fire scorched around 2 acres behind the Pine Brook Clubhouse. The clubhouse did have to be evacuated.
It's in the middle of a residential area, so tactically our firefighters are having to deal with that to protect structures, and currently at this time we don't have any structures in jeopardy.
The smoke and flames still put a lot of folks who live nearby on edge.
It's very scary. I can't imagine if it would have not been under control.
Fortunately, no one was injured in both fires and no structures were damaged. Fire officials say the smoke may linger for a few more days in both locations. They tell us the dry conditions combined with some weather factors plays a big role in igniting fires like these.
We had a lot of lightning strikes through this area, and I have a feeling we're going to be chasing lightning for the next week.
Although it does appear that it was lightning that caused this fire, investigators tell us they will continue with their investigation. Reporting from Northport, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
A reminder for those who regularly use the Venice Public Library on North Nokomis. It'll be closed today so the city can complete maintenance work. The book drop will still be available if you want to return items. The Venice Library will resume its normal operating hours on Saturday. And a new report ranks Florida first in the nation for fraud complaints. Yeah, the Federal Trade Commission says more than 269,000 people in our state reported some type of fraud last year. The most common, debt collection, followed by imposter scams, and then identity theft. We spoke to one area victim of identity theft who says she is keeping a closer eye on her personal information.
These people have my social security number. They have my driver's license. They know what I look like. You know, they have my address. So it's very scary.
Also, the top 3 states for scams, Georgia and Michigan for the 2nd year in a row. Certainly unsettling things you didn't have to think about as much. Identity theft wasn't a phrase when we were growing up.
No, never was. And to be honest with you, I really don't think about it that much now, and I should.
I know, me too.
Yeah, you really should.
Same way.
We have some very pleasant weather for the weekend.
Good.
I can't wait. I mean, the timing couldn't be better, and the extent of this is going to be extended. You know, I mean, usually we get at this time of year a front that changes things for a day or 2.
Right.
We're looking at maybe 7 days of beautiful weather.
Nice timing.
Yeah, it's good stuff. We'll talk about it.
Also up next, the Suncoast scene, Linda Carson's wrap of the weekend, including the Sarasota Film Festival. And later in the hour, students at one Southwest Florida University are in big trouble after a prank hits social media and Florida wildlife gets involved. The story is coming up.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory. It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
Fort Florida Home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
So big changes coming up for us today and for the next several days, I think. We're already feeling it in the air, that lower relative humidity, that slightly cooler temperature. Well, not slightly, 10 degrees below where we were 24 hours ago. But wait till tonight. Tonight will be significantly different because of that really dry air that's in place. And because of another reinforcing shot of drier air coming our way, we'll have temperatures falling off pretty quickly after the sun sets tonight and daytime heating ends. 49 degrees in Panama City, 47 degrees in Tallahassee, Jacksonville at 47, Gainesville, if you have relatives there, it's 45 degrees. Tampa comes in at 62, Fort Myers 64, Orlando at 59, and it's warmer in the southern tip of the state. Mayaca comes in at 61, some really kind of chilly temperatures actually in the 50s in Wauchula and Arcadia. They'll be in the 40s tonight, I think. And then closer to the coastline, we've got 65 degrees in Sarasota, 67 in Venice, and 64 degrees in Bradenton. Officially, the air temperature comes in at 65 degrees, but the dew point value, 45. That feels really nice, and it's going to fall further. We have a wind that's out of the north-northeast coming in at about 7. That wind still a little breezy out there. That'll start to subside, I think, as we head into the afternoon and evening. And then tonight, with clear skies, with the calmer winds, and with those low dew points, it's going to get chilly for some folks, in fact, I think, tonight. Not a drop of rain around anywhere here. You really have to back the radar way out to be able to see what's left of that little frontal boundary that kind of moves down through the Florida Straits and extends into Cuba. Otherwise, it's dry throughout the deep south If you have travel plans today, well, the Northeast will be a little bit unsettled as they will have some lake effect snows up there as a low pressure area exits into the Canadian Maritimes. But the frontal boundary itself has really been removed from the picture, and high pressure now extends from almost coast to coast. We do have another little low pressure area moving into parts of the Pacific Northwest, creating some more rainfall for the West Coast. But most of the country is enjoying some very quiet, pleasant weather. North wind coming down through the state of Florida will shift with time a little bit more to the east, and that will allow for a moderating influence on our temperatures. We'll start to warm the temperatures just a little bit as we head into particularly Sunday, you'll notice it. But even so, even with that, we'll see low relative humidity extend probably into midweek of next week. So an extended period of some really pleasant weather. And certainly the next couple of days will feature very low humidity weather. So sunny skies, low humidity, no rain this weekend. Expect a high fire danger today, however, because of the low humidity and the rather breezy winds out there. And a warming trend that'll start on Sunday. Those are the weather highlights for at least the next several days. There's our dry air that's in place. A few fair weather clouds, but just to the north, another reinforcing shot of drier air sinking southward promises us a lovely weekend. Forecast looks like this. Daytime high today tops out around 73, breezy for the first half of the day. Again, low 70s tomorrow. Sunday we warm a little, but still dry. Nighttime lows in the 40s tonight, in the low 50s tomorrow, and then we'll start to warm next week. Back to you.
Very nice, John. We'll take it. Let's check the roads right now. A little build up there. Down at State Road 70, a construction project ongoing there, slowing down things already in the westbound lane just west of 301. Farther south now into Sarasota County. A couple of red spots already. First off 41 northbound around North Sarasota. And then Bee Ridge, you know, ongoing construction project there. So the lanes right now heading toward 41 are blocked already at this hour of the day, and all quiet right now in the South County maps. We're at 5:18, and it should be a busy weekend around the area, and that includes the end of the Sarasota Film Festival. Here's the Suncoast scene from Linda Carson.
The 19th annual Sarasota Film Festival is coming to a close this weekend with awesome parties, big celebrations, giant stars, and some great films. One of the biggest events of the festival is Friday night.
Our party is taking place at the foot of Main Street, at the park there, just below Palm and Main. It's going to be very, very exciting.
And that's when the awards for the best films will be handed out. And the Embracing Our Differences exhibit opens this week in Bayfront Park next to Marina Jack's.
This year we received 10,761 submissions from 115 countries, 48 states, and 204 schools. All around at Island Park, from the very beginning until the very end, right by the water, you will see all different tripods that have a piece of art as well as an accompanying quote with each one.
This panel was voted best in show. They'll be up through May 31st, so make sure you get out here to see them, and make sure you read the quote at the bottom of the picture. Opening this weekend at the Oslo Rep, the elaborate entrance of Chad Deity. It's a no-holds-barred look at professional wrestling, some knockout comedy, and some very powerful messages.
It's all in the wrestling world, and like very much of it is in or just outside of the ring. So it's action on top of action on top of action.
Jamin Olivencia really is a professional wrestler. He says the play hits home in the wrestling world and in all of our lives.
I think it's dead on, just not only in the professional wrestling industry, but in life in general, what we're experiencing in the United States.
It's at the Oslo Rep, April 7th through 30th. And we've got a lot to be proud of here on the Suncoast. For one thing, all the shark's teeth that wash up on Venice Beach. So let's celebrate. It's the 25th annual Venice Shark Tooth Festival. There'll be a wide collection of shark's teeth and fossils and great music from 9 bands, including the Gator Creek Band Friday and Kim Betts and the Gamble Creek Band Saturday night. That's the Venice Shark Tooth Festival at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. Also tomorrow morning is the JDRF One Walk for Diabetes in Lakewood Ranch. I'll be out there and hope to see you as well to support the JDRF one walk on Main Street in Lakewood Ranch tomorrow morning. 5:21 right now, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast. How to spot fake news on Facebook in our Tech Bites report. And at 5:30, a crackdown on selfies in California. The story is on the way.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce.
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by one on any or all numbers and still win.
Welcome back. 5:23. The nation's largest cable provider is entering the wireless phone business. Details in this morning's Tech Bite report.
In today's Tech Bites, Comcast sharing the details of its upcoming wireless service, boasting cheaper options than the top carriers.
Xfinity Mobile is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for as low as $45 a month, or you can pay per gig. It'll be available only to existing Comcast customers.
Nuts. Well, don't be surprised by the pop-up interrupting your Facebook news feed.
Yeah, apparently it's the social network's latest attempt to educate you about fake news. If you click on it, you'll get a tutorial on how to tell the difference between real and false sources online. And Amazon is going on a hiring spree.
The e-commerce giant plans to add 30,000 part-time jobs in the U.S. this year. About 5,000 of those jobs will be work-from-home positions. Nice.
Wait, you had me at work from home. That's a great idea. Well, those are your Tech Bites.
Hope you're staying in your pajamas today, and have a great one.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Only give me one. Are you serious?
Hey, Mama, you're gonna be an abuela.
Yeah, this is how she tells me.
Predictable. The comfort in knowing where things are headed. Because as we live longer and markets continue to rise and fall, predictable is one thing you need in retirement to help protect what you've earned and ensure it lasts. Introducing Bright House Financial, a new company established by MetLife to specialize in annuities and life insurance. Talk to your advisor about a brighter financial future.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
So many times we underestimate the human spirit's drive to recover. We often see people surpass what any of us might have expected initially. The Rehabilitation Pavilion at Sarasota Memorial is the top of the line. It allows us to really bring the patient's recovery to the next level.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct prices.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
For Florida home.
By Florida workers. Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, what caused a Chicago-bound plane to be evacuated? A vote expected later on this morning on the nation's newest Supreme Court nominee. And watch where you take selfies in this California park. Stay right there. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios. This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And a good Friday morning. We start with a shot of the Ringling Causeway. A little quiet there right now. A couple of cars heading back and forth to Lido Key and back. And there's the Ritz in the front left and Alinari and Renaissance on the right. It's a peaceful Friday morning. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline is off today. A little quieter today than yesterday when John Scalzi's maps were all lit up. A nice Friday for you, John.
Oh, it's beautiful. And the weekend is going to be exquisite, Ray. I know you have a lot of things going on across town today and tonight, over the weekend, and the weather looks great for all of them.
Good.
Yep, low relative humidity in place. Temperature currently about 10 degrees cooler than it was 24 hours ago. And the dew point even lower than that, coming in about 20 degrees cooler. So everything is shaping up and in line for a beautiful sunny day today, a low humidity day. The only thing is we do have high fire danger because of the low humidity that's around. Red flag warnings are being flown. 58 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia, 59 in Parrish and Bradenton, 65 in Sarasota and Venice and Inglewood, 61 degrees in Northport. Not much in the way of any kind of inclement weather anywhere across the nation, much less the state of Florida. A few high-level clouds, that's about it. We're looking for a daytime high topping out mild, 73 degrees. with only a few fair weather high clouds and dry conditions. Nice weather for the entire weekend coming our way. We'll talk about that in just a few. Right.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, John. No problems right now with traffic. A little build up there on Cortez as it takes the bend toward 301 in Bradenton. Farther south on the map, we'll see what else is going on. A little slowdown on Fruitville out by Honore at the Target complex there, heading toward the interstate. Otherwise, not too much right now in mid-Sarasota County. And farther south, all quiet as you wake up at 5:30 on this Friday morning. Topping our news this half hour, a flight from Toronto to Chicago was disrupted after a mock explosive was found at a security checkpoint. And as Eric Horng tells us, it caused passenger evacuations.
Passengers arrived at O'Hare around 7, 12 hours late, capping a day of anxiety.
They were saying that there was a security breach, but we were sitting on the plane for 3 hours. So we're just kind of like, what's going on?
Their original flight this morning barred from taking off after an alarming discovery at a checkpoint in Toronto. Their United pilot delivering the bad news.
The port director here in the air for the U.S. Customs has revoked the pre-clearance privileges for you to enter the United States.
That's when I texted my husband and said, I'm really scared now because they're taking us away from the airport and I'm worried that there might be a bomb on the plane.
What authorities describe as a mock improvised explosive device was found in a suitcase of one of the O'Hare-bound passengers. The device was examined and found not to be viable. It never made it on the plane, but the passenger did.
I saw a guy get off the plane, and it turns out that was the guy who had the fake bomb in his luggage.
The passenger identified as 58-year-old Joseph Galaska, a U.S. citizen who, according to Canadian media, lives in the Milwaukee area. Galaska was charged with mischief. Fellow passengers, after sitting on the plane for hours, were then rescreened, the aircraft inspected.
On Capitol Hill, the Senate will vote today on Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch. Republicans exercised the so-called nuclear option Thursday in response to a Democratic filibuster. The move changed a long-standing Senate rule that required 60 votes to break a filibuster. And now filibusters for Supreme Court nominees can be nixed with 51 votes, not 60. But some senators said the change will allow future nominees to be confirmed more easily. A sign near the beach in California is getting attention. No selfies with seals allowed. It also reminds visitors that sea lions and seals are protected by federal law, as it's illegal to disturb them. The signs are simply to remind visitors they are wild animals. The city says those harassing seals can actually be cited. In Tallahassee, a House panel approved a bill that would keep confidential the name of anybody who applies to be a college or university president. The legislation now heads to the full House for a vote. If it becomes law, the names of finalists for top jobs will be public just 21 days before a final vote. Lawmakers say the change is needed because Florida isn't attracting quality candidates for university jobs. Another bill making progress in the State House requires county election officials to notify Florida voters if their signatures on vote-by-mail ballots don't match their registration forms. Right now, elections officials can reject ballots if signatures don't match without notifying voters. With this bill, voters will be given a chance to prove questioned ballots are indeed theirs. Supporters have said sometimes people's signatures do change with age. Also, a fight to retain power at the local level. County commissioners from across Florida were at the Capitol in opposition to legislation that they say takes away the ability to make decisions at the local government level. They feel a host of bills being considered this year would remove home rule in favor of state mandates. A Marion County commissioner says the attitudes and needs of local communities vary greatly across Florida.
Florida is one state, but it is 67 counties, and we're very diverse. And what's good for Marion County isn't necessarily good for Miami-Dade, and what's good for Miami-Dade isn't necessarily good for Escambia.
Among the measures being opposed has gained local interest here. That involves a plan that would take away a local government's ability to regulate short-term home rentals. That's big right now on Anna Maria Island. A brush fire forced the evacuation of Everglades Holiday Park yesterday. More than 900 acres have been scorched since Wednesday. It's only about 20% contained. No word yet what caused the fire. This is the first time in 25 years that Everglades Holiday Park is closed to the public. Yesterday's storms didn't do much around here, but the National Weather Service confirms a tornado caused damage in Lee County. The twister destroyed a mobile home at Iona Gardens. One man was inside at the time. Somehow he did escape without injury. Neighbors began collecting donations for the mobile home owners. Students at Florida Gulf Coast University posted a picture of a prank to social media. Students propped up a dead alligator on Snapchat in a dorm room bed. According to campus police, the students lied at first about how the dead gator wound up inside the dorm. Other students around the campus weren't sure how to respond to such a bizarre incident.
Really crazy to think that they actually went and got it and then brought it to the room just to make a story about it.
I would find that highly disrespectful.
I thought it was pretty crazy, to be honest. I was like, did somebody kill the alligator?
Well, police said the gator was already dead when the students found it. The post to social media also caught the attention of Florida Fish and Wildlife. The group eventually received written warnings from FWC for possession of an alligator. My, the pranks have changed on college campuses. As National Crime Victims' Rights Week continues, we honor those who have been affected by crimes, but also those who help overcome and achieve justice. According to the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office annual report, there were nearly 8,000 crimes in the county in 2015. Friends and family affected by these crimes become the responsibility of the sheriff's 4-person Victims Assistance Unit. The unit says their biggest challenge is awareness. Many folks don't realize these resources exist after a crime happens. This week, they step into the spotlight to remind everyone that help is indeed available.
If I can help make that person, that traumatic moment, just a little easier for that person to deal with and to go through and less confusing, then I've done my job.
National Crime Victims Week continues through Sunday. The issue of rising sea levels has caused some new signs to go up in Sarasota. Bobeth Yates has the story.
Well, the sign asks several questions. Among them, what will be underwater if sea level rises? And it even gives you an answer, saying if it goes up 1 foot, that means Ted Sperling Park could be underwater. Up to 3 feet, the access to Moat Marine. And officials are hoping this could bring about change.
Many people don't realize that the sea levels have risen over 6 inches since 1947 and expected to rise at least a couple of more inches over the next 15 or 20 years.
Sarasota City Manager Tom Barwin says they have implemented a sea level rising plan. It includes identifying city-owned infrastructure that is vulnerable to storm surges, flooding, heat, and of course, the rising sea levels. Part of that plan includes informing the public about the issue, and they're using these signs to do it.
So the whole purpose of the signs is to just tell people what scientists believe is our reality in the future and what we can do to make a best case scenario out of what could be a real problem.
I did notice that there was a sign and I stopped and looked. I did think about it because climate change is with us.
Roseanne Eaton is a seasonal resident from Vancouver, and while she's not a scientist, she says she has noticed the change.
We had snow starting in December and going all the way through to the beginning of March, which is unusual for Vancouver because we're like Seattle, where if it snows one day, it's gone the next.
Eaton says she's applauding the city for recognizing the issue and taking a stand, and she's not alone.
I think it's a good thing, really. It just, if anything else, it just kind of makes people think.
They're actually trying to make people more aware of what's happening and climate change and stuff like that.
But not everyone is happy with the sea level rising signage. City officials say they have received complaints from skeptics, but they say they have to prepare for the worst and are doing their part to get the information out.
When it comes to climate change, for some reason, not everybody wants to believe the scientists, but you know, our information from a variety of sources is solid.
Officials say similar signs have been implemented in other areas like Fort Lauderdale, and that they're hoping that the sign could not only spark discussion, but bring about change. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
The city deals with parking meters, homeless, and also rising sea levels, quite a variety.
Well, they better deal with it because somebody's got to, and you know, the sea levels are rising, no doubt about it. We've already seen consequences of that. The National Hurricane Center had to revise all the storm surge maps because of rising sea level, and now we're looking at the ice sheets melting at a much faster rate than had been anticipated, which is a big problem in terms of rising sea levels. So we're going to have to address it.
And the lack of sand on Lido Key doesn't help either out there, I'm sure.
A lot of things don't, actually. We need more mangroves built, out there. We need some artificial barriers out there.
Well, I got a laundry list, don't you?
There's a lot of stuff a lot of work to be done.
Certainly
a lot of work
is.
to be done.
Yeah.
This weekend is great to be doing some work outdoors. I know I got my list ready.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll talk about the weather in a second.
Also, a story about memories and how some people have better memories than others. The story's coming up.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like cell phone protection for 3 phones, plus an interest-bearing account. And that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular received a J.D. Power Award for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and switch now. For a limited time, get your first month of service free. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Don't miss Southwest Florida's largest barbecue and bluegrass event Friday, April 14th and Saturday, April 15th, when the 8th annual Suncoast Barbecue and Bluegrass Bash returns to Venice. Bring the whole family and enjoy genuine competition barbecue and award-winning bluegrass entertainment. Please join us for a finger-licking and hot-picking good time April 14th and 15th at the Suncoast Barbecue and Bluegrass Bash. Free admission, parking, entertainment, and family activities. Get all the details at suncoastbarbecuebash.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
There's a whole new way to bank with Achieva Checking Plus. You get new features like full ID theft protection, and that's good to know. Discover all the benefits at achievacu.com. Achieva, banking for good. Achieva Credit Union is federally insured by the NCUA.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, the cooler air has started to filter in, but it'll be coming in even stronger this afternoon, I think, as we'll have another surge of drier air, and that will allow for the temperatures to fall off pretty rapidly after the sun sets this evening. We'll be down into the 40s as we head into the overnight tonight. Upper 40s, but nevertheless, kind of a cool blast considering where we have been over the last week. Looking at temperatures across the Panhandle that are pretty chilly already. 49 degrees Panama City, Tallahassee coming in at 47. 47 degrees in Jacksonville as well. Gainesville cooler, as they usually are, at 45. Daytona at 54. Melbourne 59. Tampa 52. And Fort Myers 54, where they had the the waterspout that turned into a tornado as it moved over land yesterday. 71 degrees down in Key West in Miami, coming in at 64. Across the region, we have some chillier temperatures in inland locations away from the moderating influence of the water, with 56 degrees Wauchula, Arcadia, Mayaca coming in at 59, Parrish at 61. We have 64 degrees in Bradenton and Venice and 65 in Sarasota. So you get the picture. Temperatures are a little warmer near the coastline, a little cooler in inland areas. That's exactly what will happen again today. As long as winds come out of the north, that's what you get. You need the winds coming in off Gulf waters for it to be otherwise. We will see today, I think, this wind that is kind of breezy right now coming in northeast at about 7 to 10 generally. That'll start to subside just a little bit. But for the morning hours, with the seas taking a little bit of time to catch up to the reduction in wind speeds with time, we still have a small craft advisory up through the morning hours. We also have a red flag flying for high fire danger. Yes, despite the fact that some places got some rainfall yesterday and some rather significant rainfall, we are seeing high fire danger due to the winds and that relative humidity, which has fallen now at 48%. That due to the dew point value, which has also dropped now. About 20 degrees. Fairly clear skies out there. A few high-level clouds passing by from time to time, but none of it containing any rainfall today, tomorrow, the day after. This is really an extended period. I'd say we don't see any rainfall for the next maybe 7 days. And we've had such a dry spell, and we are in such a dry spell that's not a good thing. Of course, the concern being that as we start to head into our fire season, that those last couple weeks of May may trigger off quite a few wildfires, because we'll start to get some lightning strikes around, and unfortunately, we're still down significantly in the rain bucket. So dry across the peninsula. You look down to the south and the southern tip through the Florida Straits and into parts of Cuba, and that's where our frontal boundary that came through yesterday is located. It wraps up around an area of low pressure moving out into the Canadian Maritimes, and with a strong wind out of the north over the Great Lakes and the cooler temperatures that exist in the northeast right now, you're getting some lake effect snows there. There could be some appreciable totals close to the Great Lake coastlines. And then back to the west, a low pressure area, another one moving into parts of Oregon, producing some rain showers from the Southern California coastline all the way up into Washington state. High pressure, the dominant weather feature for us, brings us that northerly wind, but shifting a little bit more to the east with time. That's important, because with that shifting wind to the east, we'll start to warm. That'll probably occur as early as Sunday, but even so, our relative humidities are going to be low and feel comfortable, I think, through about Wednesday or so. Then we'll start to increase the humidity just a little bit and maybe factor in a few more clouds. But until then, it is sunshine all the way. Back to you, Ray.
Very nice forecast. Thank you, John. Let's check the Suncoast roads right now. A little buildup on State Road 64 heading east around downtown Bradenton. Nothing else, though, in Manatee County right now going on. That'll change as the morning progresses. We see a buildup already on Bee Ridge around Shade and Tuttle and Beneva, heading toward 41. There's, of course, an ongoing construction project there. And right now, the cars are feeling it in the westbound lanes, and farther south. Nothing to report in the South counties at 5:48 on this Friday morning. HealthSmart, now a controversial bill in Texas you got to hear about. It blocks parents of children with disabilities from suing their doctor. Dorotha Biggs sued her doctor back in the 1970s for not diagnosing her with rubella while pregnant, saying the doctor didn't inform her of the long-term risks. Well, the Texas Supreme Court eventually ruled in the patient's favor. So now a Texas senator is trying to do away with the legal precedent. Now, supporters say the bill protects the rights of disabled people. Opponents say it opens the door to doctors lying about the health of fetuses when they feel a patient might seek an abortion. No date yet set for a vote on that bill in Texas. Well, we often hear the initials HPV, and as Dr. Timothy Johnson tells us, more folks are carrying this cancer than you might realize.
We've all heard about the infamous human papillomavirus, or HPV as it's more commonly known. There are many different HPV viruses. Some cause just warts, but others cause cancer in both men and women. But just how widespread is it? Today, the CDC gives us some new numbers, and they're high. About 43% of adults had genital HPV and 7% had an oral form. That's from data gathered between 2011 and 2014. The differences between genders are noteworthy. HPV is more common in men. 45% carry genital HPV, 40% in women. The cancer-causing strains are also more common in men. The HPV vaccine administered in late childhood or early adolescence could be the reason that fewer women have the virus. The vaccine is now recommended for both boys and girls so it can protect them before they become sexually active. The HPV vaccine may close the gap between men and women when it comes to this virus, and higher vaccination rates overall keep everyone safer. With this Medical Minute, I'm Dr. Timothy Johnson.
GlaxoSmithKline is recalling more than 500,000 inhalers. When the inhalers are functioning properly, they release a fixed dose of the medication albuterol, but to treat the conditions like asthma, that's what it's for rather. The British pharmaceutical company says the recall devices could potentially deliver incorrect dosages. The voluntary recall is not on the patient level, but patients are encouraged to seek immediate medical attention if their inhaler is not relieving symptoms. There are some older adults who retain a much sharper memory than their peers. They're called super agers. Researchers at Northwestern University found they aren't losing brain mass at the same rate as an average ager. The average person experiences atrophy in their brain at more than twice of the super agers' pace. The researchers plan to further study the composition of the cortex and which neurons are most vulnerable to aging. They also want to know what biological and lifestyle factors contribute to brain aging as well. Still to come, 4 children in Ohio on the fast track. Details coming up.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
What does it mean when New South Window says Factory Direct?
It means we have a factory.
It means we eliminate the middleman.
It means you get an award-winning, energy-efficient window at factory direct pricing.
Plus, New South windows are made in Florida.
For Florida Home.
By Florida workers.
Because we know Florida weather.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get the 3rd free, plus our lifetime warranty. New South Window. We manufacture, we install, we guarantee. Call now.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
What Florida city is best known for spaceflight?
Cape Carnival.
Cape Carnival? Close enough. What condiment includes vinegar, molasses, and anchovies?
Westchester sauce?
Close enough. And now, a word from our sponsors.
One-off from the Florida Lottery. Now available for pick 2, 3, 4, and 5 games. Miss by 1 on any or all numbers and still win.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make 1 monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Beautiful shot from the Rosemary District looking toward downtown Sarasota. That's Lemon. Looking toward the south. And again, that's the State Street parking garage lit up there in the distance. Very nice shot of downtown, 555. And the future looks bright for a set of quadruplets in Ohio. Aaron, Nick, Nigel, and Zachary have all been accepted to a number of top national universities. Talking about schools like Duke, Harvard, and Yale. The family says the foursome hasn't decided whether or not they'll go to the same school or not. The mother says they feel elated and blessed at the success of these young men in Butler County, Ohio. Good for them, huh?
That's fantastic. When you see something like that, you always wonder, nurture or nature? You know, how much were the parents responsible for that kind of success, and how much is genes?
I bet we had some strong discipline in that household growing up.
Probably so,
Right.
and a lot of encouragement as well, I should imagine.
Yeah, I think so. There is a big story right now, folks. The U.S. involved in Syria, an airstrike overnight. We'll have an update from Washington, D.C. in about 2 minutes right here on Good Morning Suncoast. Stay with us.
It took a lot of work and dedication for 7 teachers to start our credit union and create a foundation that we continue to build on today. At Achieva, we never lose sight of the values that have defined us for over 75 years, and that's good to know. Achieva, banking for good.
Sarasota Magazine and PNC Wealth Management present the Best of Sarasota Soiree at Selby Gardens on April 24th.
It's an evening to sip, savor, and celebrate Sarasota Manatee's best of winners.
This year will be full of Warhol-inspired surprises, entertainment, and a tribute to those representing the best in our community.
Come join ABC7 for all the fun.
Get your tickets today at sarasotamagazine.com.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com for Chef Judy's favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that, and with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.